Ooh, welcome back everybody. We're gonna tackle the rest of the Cathedral ward here leading up to its boss, Vicar Amelia. First we got a couple of shortcuts to unlock, the first of which being in this newly opened door on the right here, which opens after you beat the blood-starved beast, I think. Go through here, and we got an elevator. And as we go through the elevator, be very careful. I wonder, can I get him up here? Nope. Well, that'll key you in on what I'm talking about. There's a Gatling gun situated right to the right here. So what you can do is just kind of sprint past and to the right, and you get behind him. And then there's a quick takedown. And then there's a chest at the end of the room. With, I believe, yeah, this is our first, what's called a Carol rune, which gets us the rune contact trophy. That's like blood gems, but for your character as opposed to your weapon. Alright, come this way and sprint. Make sure you sprint all the way across and past this guy. Because as you just saw, there are some people right above us shooting bullets. So it's best to just sprint past and take out that guy. Then, you've got a bunch of people inside this room and some stairs leading up to a new location, but we're going to skip all of that for now. For now, there's a chunk in the floor off to the right here, but you can get around to the other side of it from going around to the left, and the reason we're doing this is because on the other side of that gap is a scurrying nightmare beast, or whatever it's called, scurrying nightmare, I think. And so we get to it by going the other way around. Try to go wide so that you can get him to run. Yep, there he is. On the inside here, and most likely... Oh, I guess I got lucky. He'll drop down. Most of the time he'll drop down himself, but... He went that way, and we're going to drop down after his corpse. So get that. And then turn around from where you dropped and go this way. Go ahead and put your torch on. And on the left is this new area. So now we got a little tricky secret to get. If you look down, this is where we're going to head. You see there's a bunch of items down there. But there's actually two places you can go to from here. The first of which, and the most common, is just slowly dropping down platform to platform all the way down to the bottom into a different section of the Cathedral ward. But there's actually a door, you can just barely see it, on kind of the bottom right. Let me position it a little bit better. Yeah, there we go. Bottom right hand portion of the screen. I don't know if you can see that that's a door right there that we're going to try to get to. To do so, you need to get on these three planks right here and just kind of walk off maybe a little before, like these two planks, because you want to get, there's a very, very small platform at the end of these ropes hanging down. So we're just going to kind of walk off, and just walk off, don't roll off, because then you'll go too far. And also be careful of this little twig that's sticking out on the left here, because that can also kind of block you. It's kind of tricky to pull off, so it actually might take me a couple of tries. But just keep trying. If you die, your blood echoes will spawn right here where I'm standing, so you don't have to go all the way back, or at least they should. But here we go. I'm just going to position myself to the ropes and walk straight. And I landed right there, just as planned. Make sure, by the way, you're at full health when you do that. I should have said that ahead of time, or close to full health. But if you didn't take any damage from either of those two enemies it took to get here, you'll be fine. Now we got another drop to do, so you definitely want to heal up, because that's going to take a big chunk. And you can, again, kind of see there's the door we were looking at, and there's a platform right in front of it. So get close to the wall and just walk off to the right here. And boom, we land right in front of the door. Don't bother healing up because you're just going to waste a blood vial. There are no enemies in this area. Take your torch off too. And we get to the secret abandoned old workshop, which gets us our, I think, was that our first silver trophy? That might have been our first silver trophy. This is a little secret area that looks very similar to the Hunter's Dream. There's where we were. So let's continue on, and on the left here where the Bath Messenger used to be is a treasure chest. There's, I think, 4 items in here. Well, 7 if you count this as 4 different items, but I count it as 1. Oh, get up. That we're trying to get. So we got the doll set. What else we got? Right here at this gravestone is the old hunter bone, which I think might be our very first hunter tool. Yeah. What this does is it creates like a little whirlwind aura around you. And here, I'll demonstrate it so that you can see, but don't feel the need to do this yourself because it takes 4 quicksilver bullets. As you can see in the middle there, it says QS bullet use 4. But just so you can see what it does, this is... Oh wait, can we even use it yet? Oh, we can, okay. So, these things right here, they're called hunter tools. This is why you make an arcane build, is so that you can use these. There's a few of them, 3 specifically. That's going to make this game quite a bit easier, in my opinion. This one is not one of those 3, unfortunately. But it's nice because what it can do, you activate it like an item, is it'll create a whirlwind, and then your dodges make you invisible and go way faster. Not way faster, but noticeably faster. And I don't remember how long it lasts. Lasts for a good bit. That was it. And so that's what that one does. It's more used in PvP than it is just in the main game, but there's a trophy for getting all of them, so we need to get it. And we also got an abandoned doll. On the altar here is a 1/3 of umbilical cord. Make sure you keep this in your inventory and you do not use it. It's a key part to unlocking the secret ending of the game, but you don't want to unlock the secret ending until you've gotten the other 2. So make sure you do not use that in your inventory, just keep it there. And lastly, inside this cabinet is the small hair ornament, which we can give to the abandoned doll back at the regular Hunter's Dream, which we're going to do right now. Light that lamp, return to Hunter's Dream. Okay, let's talk to the abandoned doll and give her the small hair ornament.
What? What's happening? Tell me.
She feels joy for the first time and cries a tear stone, which we can immediately use in our inventory to get another blood gem. The tear blood gem, although don't feel the need to really do all of this because that gem's actually not that good if you ask me. Can we sell anything? I don't think so. Nope. Again, also don't sell any of these hunter's tools. Oh, we can sell one thing. Because although the doll clothes is fun and all, it's terrible. And it's worth a ton of blood echoes. So this is great that we went to get this because we can immediately sell it. And we get tons of souls. Or not, blood echoes. Communion rune, so it gives us max blood vials. Go up by +1. We can't use those just yet until we fight a particular boss. So it's actually going to be a while. Alright, so we took care of that. What else can we do here? I guess we can go ahead and level up.
Welcome.
Since we just got all those blood echoes. Let's see where I was on my list here.
Let the echoes become your strength. Let me.
Oop.
Welcome. What?
Yeah.
Very well. Let me.
Okay, we are currently level 30, so that's right here. So now we're going to put our second ever level into strength. And then we go back to the pattern of 2 arcane and 1 vitality until we get to level 40. So arcane, vitality. Arcane, arcane. Oh, that was it. Okay. And again, as a reminder,
Farewell, good
there's a
hunter.
Google Doc linked in the description
May you find
that has
peace in the
a leveling guide
waiting
described that's sectioned off into groups of 10 levels. You start at level 10, so you can use that to kind of track where I am and where you might want to be at any given level. Alright, with all that, let's head back to the Cathedral Ward. And we're actually going to go straight back to that same elevator. This time we're going to drop all the way down that pillar, tower, whatever, instead of going to the abandoned old workshop. Make sure you don't get overzealous right here, because there have been plenty of times where I would go sprinting, turn the corner, forget that the elevator is on the top, and drop straight down into the endless abyss underneath the elevator. So make sure you don't do that. We're going to go up, take care of that same guy, those same two guys actually. That sprint. Goodbye. You can actually ignore him entirely if you want to, but I like to just wait for him to come here and get the easy kill. It's Blood Echoes, and he usually drops stuff. Now we can go this way since we got the Scurrying Nightmare. If you didn't, then remember to go back around the other direction and approach from the other side. Let's drop down, equip the torch. This part's a little tricky, especially if you're trying to get all the items, but first go all the way across the plank bridge here and just drop off there a little earlier on the bridge right underneath us on either side. Then, where do we go from there? Ah, yes. Come to this side, to the wall, and drop off to the left. And now, if you want to get this item, you have to slowly walk across this tiny plank all the way to the end. Position yourself as best you can. It's kind of hard to see it. And then drop down. And you get one of my favorite, yet unnecessary items, the messenger top hat. So now we can adorn adorable little top hats on our messengers. It's great. Alright, then just drop down from anywhere from where we are. As long as you're not like rolling or running too fast, you'll just drop right down here. Then we got another item underneath us. So what I like to do is kind of position on this kind of fatter plank that's sticking out. And just walk straight forward. And we'll land right here. Search that for a madman's knowledge, and now this is the hard one. It's hard to describe because it's very difficult to see. To the point where you might want... Oh gosh, I can't even see it. You might want to consider going into the system and turning up your brightness if you haven't already. You see my brightness is all the way up. Let's see, can I see it? Usually I can see it. Alright, hold tight everybody, I'm going to be right back. There we go. So after turning the contrast way up on my TV, now you can see the bridge down there. Barely, but you can see it. And what we're going to do is try to drop right down on that, which you can actually do more or less just by walking straight off the plank. But this one you can be a little liberal with, meaning you can get some forward momentum going. You don't need to run or anything, but you don't need to just like barely tiptoe off. You can do a full walk off. And you land right on it. At this point you're going to want to heal because we only got one more drop, which immediately alerts that big enemy you might hear breathing. You also want to turn your torch off because that guy, he's a new one to us and he's a bit difficult. This is known as the beast-possessed soul. And if you can see, there's a big pile of debris down there. That's what we want to drop down onto. If you miss it, you'll be... I think you'll live, if I remember right. But this saves you some damage. So let's drop down on it. Then immediately take care of this guy. Just get in close. You gotta... You stick to his side here. You can also feel free, where are they, to throw Molotovs, because he likes to do very large swipes, and he does a lot of them in a row. And he also has that lunge, and then he makes his claws sharp when you've done enough damage to him. I think sticking to back and throwing Molotovs is the best bet. You can also use fire paper, but just use Molotovs and you'll take care of them. And he drops the Beast Rune, which is going to be completely useless to us. Okay, with that, let's go through the door he was guarding. And we're in a new section of the Cathedral Ward. Off to the left is an alleyway we're going to utilize, but before we do that, if you go straight forward and stop right about here at this last manhole cover that's emitting steam, you'll see a little group of people coming towards you. 2 huntsmen and a dog. Do not engage them up there. Do not walk towards them. Stay right back here because there is a very large and very intimidating enemy off to the left if you get too close. Try to take care of that dog first if you can. Oop. There we go. And there we go. Let's heal up. Also, you may have noticed the 2 huntsmen way off in the distance. Don't worry about them. We'll get them later. But for right now, head back down that alleyway, and before grabbing that item, keep in mind there are some crows on your right. So take care of them the normal way. Notice how long they can stay in the air if they so choose. And grab some useless armor that we're immediately going to sell and continue down the alleyway. And be careful of the dog in the front and be extremely careful of this gentleman. He might be the most difficult, like, quote-unquote normal enemy in the entire game. They're called kidnappers. He's got his back turned right now. They've got their kidnap sack draped over their shoulder, and they suck. So make sure you do not get his attention. Instead, just walk forward and get the attention of that dog. Ugh. Let me make sure I did not get his attention. Okay, we're good. Go to where the dog was guarding and you'll get safely to the area where those other huntsmen were walking around. So now we can take care of them, just so that we have nothing to worry about when we tackle that difficult enemy from behind. Just use that tactic of backing away, waiting for them to finish attacking, and then walking up to them and hitting them. Okay. So this guy hits like a truck. He has a ton of health. And is very predictable. So we're gonna do a little bit of a cheese here to get rid of him. But since he's got his back turned, you can get a backstab on him, which is not going to kill him. However, he has like a quote-unquote phase 2 where he does this kind of red sinewy aura around him, and which makes him a lot more aggressive and deal a lot more damage. But it's a very slow animation for him to activate it. And he does not turn around or anything when he starts activating it, and he activates it when he hits about 55-60% health, I think. Which is more than enough that we're going to get from this backstab. So the idea, if you can pull it off, which is not too difficult, is to get a backstab off of him. He will stand up and immediately start doing his aura animation, at which time you can get a second backstab on him, which will kill him. So the idea is charge up your attack to do the backstab, then do the backstab. The minute you finish the backstab, go ahead and start charging another attack, and you should be able to pull off a second one. So what you want to do is make sure you don't go anywhere farther than about halfway up these stairs. And when you hit him with the charged shot, make sure you take a few steps forward so that you get the backstab off. Because if you don't, you'll just hit him with a normal attack. And that'll be no good. So it's like right about here at that messed up step. Let's charge, swing, walk forward, attack. Lock on again, walk up, start charging. He's gonna do the aura. You can get a backstab and get one more. See, that screech is supposed to be him activating his aura. We didn't even get to see it because we cut him off. And we killed our first kidnapper, which is great because those guys are terrible. If you do happen to get killed by this guy, I believe he triggers a cutscene that sends you to a whole new area known as the Hypogene Jail. So if that happens to you and you want to continue with your playthrough, that's perfectly fine. In fact, the Hypogene Jail is going to be coming up after this boss. So I recommend you pause here, skip over to whatever episode mentions the Hypogene Jail. I think that's how it's, yeah. And watch from there. And then when you finish that section, come back to here and continue with this walkthrough. After you kill him though, if you did kill the kidnapper, he was guarding a madman's knowledge, so we can get that. We go past him. This is the alleyway where those two hunters were. And there's an elevator at the end here, but before we do that, turn around and go this way and we get another new enemy known as the Brain Sucker. These guys also suck. No pun intended. Luckily, with us being arcane and them being extremely weak to fire, they can be killed with, I believe, one Molotov in his case. You can't see him right now, and trust me, you don't want to, but it's a tentacled face, hideous monster. And what they'll do is run up the minute they see you, try to grab you, and if they grab you, a very, very large tentacle will explode from his head, attach it to yours, and start sucking your brains out. It's disgusting. So rather than deal with all that, just get close and try to lob a Molotov at him. And they die. I see all the Cthulhu-style face tentacles. Blech. But he was guarding one of our most important items up to this point. A fire blood gemstone. It's our first elemental gemstone that we have unlocked. Again, that's the whole crux of this build, is to harness the power of the elements. And right now, since all we have is physical weapons, we have to make them elemental by slotting elemental blood gems into them, or gemstones. And that's the first one that you can get in the main game. And it's fire, which is perfect for our saw cleaver, which is already strong against beasts. So the minute we can, we're going to go back to the Hunter's Dream, put it in this saw cleaver, and make ourselves a great beast killer. With that being said, go all the way down the alley that you just killed the brain sucker in, and into this elevator. And it'll take you to a little shortcut back to the Cathedral Ward, which actually enables us to skip spending 10,000 whole blood echoes on an item that you may have noticed in the Bath Messenger shop. Search the body here. Drop down. Come over to the right and pull this lever. That opens up our shortcut to the two, I can't remember if we got here. There's two, I call them ghost face killers right here that we can try to parry. Once they raise their cane up to right about their head level, that's when you can pull the trigger. And there's another one. If you can't do that, you can just walk up and hit them a couple of times and back away. Yeah, they don't stagger very easily, but they do sometimes. As long as you don't get too greedy and you just hit them a couple of times, then you shouldn't take more than like 1 or 2 hits. Oh yeah, be careful because some of them start coming down from the stairs. So actually, we can take care of this guy too by sneaking up on him. That's why you want to work a little quickly. Alright, and with all that done, we can go over here and grab the wooden shield, which is useless as a shield, but needed for a trophy. And then we're gonna climb up this ladder. Take this time to notice the skyline because things are about to change. Notice there's the sun, I think. Or moon. I think it's the sun. Anyway, ahead of us is some numbing mist, which is going to be very nice in the upcoming boss. It prevents healing in a certain area, or if you happen to hit an enemy with it straight on, then it prevents healing on that enemy specifically, as opposed to just a specific area. Then we can drop down here and drop down again. But before you continue forward, if you turn around, we get the Black Messenger hat. Another item we can put on our messengers. It's not necessary for any trophies, but it's necessary to get all the items. So drop down again, and this time we gotta drop down to the right onto the stairs. There's another of those. Oh, I forget what they're called. I'll have to look that up. The Thumerian something or others. Those bell people with the bells around their necks. And the scream masks. Be careful. Be very, very careful of the fact that there is another kidnapper you can barely see moving all the way over to the left there. Go ahead and heal up. And there's a crow on your right. I think I remember talking about. In fact, if you want to do a U-turn real quick, just get rid of that crow before taking this guy on. Woohoo. See if we can counter him. So, he hit us, but we got him. And if you immediately, if that ever happens, by the way, if you ever get hit at the exact moment that you pull off a gun counter, gun parry, dash forward at him and start mashing the attack button, and you should be able to pull off the visceral in time if you dashed straight ahead instead of at an angle. And if you do that, you should regain all of the health that you lost from the initial hit. So good job, everybody. We have made it back to the Cathedral ward, and we've opened up a shortcut that saves us about 10,000, well, not about, exactly 10,000 blood echoes. So let's check it out. Head back to Hunter's Dream. Let's go up, let's check out what's to sell. Don't sell your numbing mist. Or anything else for that matter. Oh, we can sell some armor. The rumpled yarnum hat and sweaty clothes, we don't need any of those. Sweaty clothes has good fire resistance, but the charred hunter set's better, I think. Let's get rid of that. I'll say a little word about the Carol runes once we can equip them. Come up here and we're gonna do something fantastic. Check to see if we can fortify anything. I didn't think so. Repair? Nope, my durability is at 156 in the middle there, so I usually wait until it's at less than 50%. But we did. Oh, that's right, we can't do it yet. Darn it. You have to wait until you get your saw cleaver to +6 before you can slot in the fire gemstone. Notice the 3 symbols in the top middle and how one of them is blacked out. But you can kind of see it's a crescent moon shape, which is, excuse me, exactly the same shape as where is it? Yep, the fire blood gemstone. It's a waning gemstone. Notice we got waning, radials, droplets. They all fit into different slots. And that one increases our, or gives us fire attack. It's important that it gives you fire attack, meaning it completely changes the damage type from physical to fire, and it doesn't do any physical anymore. We also did get the Tear Blood gem, which might seem good because it makes your HP continue to recover, but it literally recovers +2 health every second. Which, when your health, or my health anyway, is at 742, 2 per second is actually not much. I don't think it's worth the entire blood gem slot just for that. I think it's better to keep your damage up as high as possible. And that's what you're going to want to do. Alright, so with that said, let's pop any thick cold blood. Let's go level up.
Welcome. What is it? Very well. Let me.
So I believe I am at Arcane again. Because I'm at level 35. So that's right here. So yep, I need to do an Arcane. Oh, and that's all I can do. So confirm. Let's back out and let's head back to the Cathedral ward again. And we will finish everything to do in the Cathedral ward up to the boss next time. So until then, stay safe.